Um, Hello, members of Empowering Uganda Initiative. My name is Gerald Nasasira. I am a founder of Empowering Uganda Initiative. And I would like to first of all tell you about the education system of Uganda. What is it all about? And then how do the children cope up with the education system, and those who are vulnerable children and those who are less vulnerable children. First of all, paying school fees in Uganda is beyond many families, especially where they have a lot of children. This means that many children are left sitting home, but matters are made worse by the fact that all schools have many extra requirements to pay for on top of school fees. For example, from brooms to school books, uniforms, and other scholastic materials that are needed. It is seemingly impossible task for many children and their families to fund an education. This is a common occurrence, and however hard a child has worked at school, if they can't pay their school fees in full, they are not given their school report or exam certificates, and their whole year of learning is made worthless. Consequently, many children end up dropping out of schools. So therefore, here I'm trying to mean that the education system is hard, but as it is hard, the children try to face difficulties, especially those without the parents. And you know, these children are orphans. These children are not helped. But I want to thank your presence here. As Nelson Mandela said, education is the only powerful weapon which one can use to transform the world. I would like to take you through what the primary education is all about. Primary education, here the children in primary school take 4 main subjects. They take English, they take math, they take science, and social studies, which includes geography, religious studies, and history. They are examined at the end of every term in each of these subjects. The distinction ranges from 100%, between 100% and 80, a credit 79 to 50, a pass 49 to 30, fail 29 to 0. Secondary education. Children here take a wide variety of subjects with English, math, science, which includes biology, chemistry, physics, agriculture, and many more others. Therefore, here a division 1, somebody who has worked better in a school. Division 1 ranges from 100 to 81%, Division 2, 81 to 72%, Class 3, 72 to 68%, Class 4, 61 to 68%. The Uganda education system starts in February and finishes in December. The first term runs from February to April, the second term from May until early August, and then third term from September to December. That's when children can go to Christmas to enjoy their holidays with their parents, because some of them spend a lot of time without being home. So that is all about it. So the Uganda system follows a fairly similar pattern to that of Britain. Children are in primary school for 7 years, that is from primary 1 to primary 7, and then continue through secondary level from senior 1 to senior 6. An academic duration that takes for 6 years. The 3 most important school years for a child in Uganda are primary 7. All students must take leaving examinations, which all determine which secondary school they go to. Senior 4 is what we call O level. That is a lower level, which is a level which is next to the ordinary level, which is next to advanced level. And then senior 6, which is an advanced level that takes a child or a boy or a girl to the university. Then we also have vocational training, which is a very important option, especially for children who are more practical-based learners. These ones can take tailoring, they can do hairdressing, they can do tailoring, they can do mechanics, they can do catering, they can do carpentry, and more and more and more skills. Then we want also to see how HIV AIDS has caused the orphanage rise in Uganda. The number of children orphaned due to HIV AIDS in sub-Saharan Africa was estimated in 2007 by UNAIDS at 12 million in the region. In Uganda alone, 800,000 of the estimated 1.6 million orphans are said to be orphaned due to this cause. The children suffer lifelong consequences from the loss of their parents. This study explores the situation of children living in child-headed households in Uganda, Western Uganda, Kabarore, for example, where we had to visit and then find out these facts, and we indeed came out with some conclusion. Through qualitative research, including the in-depth interviews with 20 child heads of households, the health concerns of these children are documented. Here, because of the HIV rise, and these children lose parents because of HIV/AIDS, they have indeed become the heads of these families. So, and they suffer a lot because they have no guardians to help them. So the study also revealed that psychological and physical effects of orphanhood are magnified from those living in a child-headed households. In particular, it highlights the fears of theft and abuse, which are a constant source of anxiety for these children. These children, when they lose their parents, they have mostly resorted to stealing, becoming thugs, street children. They lose hope. They're always anxious to their future. So in most cases, it is very, very difficult for them. It also reports that illness episodes among the younger siblings are also particularly worrisome for child heads of families. So here you will find that a child-headed family, when a fellow sibling dies or suffers, this child also suffers because there is no money to take care of the siblings. Disease becomes a day-to-day event. So you find that there is a very huge crisis. According to UNICEF, Uganda has 2.5 million orphans. Of that number, 1.2 million are orphaned by HIV/AIDS. You can imagine, I think this is so huge and it needs an intervention. Since the early 21st century, there has been a rise in the number of orphans and vulnerable children, the majority of which live in sub-Saharan Africa. Orphanhood in sub-Saharan Africa is largely attributed to HIV/AIDS endemic, which has left 17.3 million children orphaned due to the death of one or both parents. Also, prolonged conflicts, political instability, and extreme poverty in sub-Saharan countries also contributes to orphans and vulnerable children, or what we may call OVC burden. In 2010, an estimated 8 million of Uganda's 17 million children were classed as orphans and vulnerable children. Of those, 2.4 million orphans, and over 5.5 million living with other vulnerabilities. So this is so huge, and it is a very endemic, very problematic to our children here in Uganda. Orphans and other vulnerable children, or OVC, face numerous risks resulting from the loss of protective factors, stable home environment, and economic independence. The risks include depression, suicidal ideation, exploitation, stigma, poor health, and education outcomes. In conclusion, our findings reinforce the need to provide continuing support to orphans and vulnerable children. So therefore, on this point, we are calling upon the stakeholders to intervene and help these children, because we have many of them. They are not in school. They are depressed. They are exploited. They have no future for tomorrow. So therefore, you can help them. You can come to Uganda, and we take you through these people. In addition, in Uganda, then ensuring they have the opportunity, we would like to ensure that they have opportunity to attain the education. When they have the education, it means that these children will be empowered. And when they are empowered, it means that these children will be they will be self-reliant, and they will overcome most of the problems. The data indicate important regional and gender variations that needs to be considered for support strategies in social policy. The results suggest the need for greater local empowerment to address the need for orphans and vulnerable children. We recommend further research to understand why orphans and vulnerable children, or OVC, access to education and attending to varies between regions, and improvement of district level mapping of OVC access to education, and further study to be understood, in particular for factors impacting the lower school attendance only. So therefore, I'm calling upon each one of you members to invite your friends, to invite the key stakeholders. I am inviting you to come to Uganda and rescue a life. God shall bless you when you help these people, because when we help these children, maybe we put an orphanage for them. It means that they are going to have the economic capacity to support themselves. And then maybe other people will have less burdens when we give them education. So I want to appreciate you for you being members, and I call upon you to closely follow the proceedings, the development of Uganda and Africa at large. In particular, I want to thank you, and I appreciate you that you visit Uganda for more analysis and more information. For God and my country, may God bless you. Bye-bye.